Ghana has enough natural resources to be the richest nations on earth. But after years of independence, we are still broke. And the reason isn't what you have been told. Many people blame colonialism for our poverty. But what if that's just part of the story? If we keep blaming the past, we will never fix the future. But if the real cause isn't colonialism, then the truth is much scarier than you think. So I dove deep into weeks of research and I found something. But if we need answers, we have to go back in time. On 6 March 1957, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah led Ghana to break free from British colonial rule, making it the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence. But then, something terrible happened. On February 24, 1966, 9 years after independence, 4 men named Lieutenant General Emmanuel Kwesi Kotoka, Major Akwesi Afrifa, John Willie Kofi Halley, and Lieutenant General Joseph Ankara formed a junta called NLC, National Liberation Council. These were senior military and police officers. Whilst Nkrumah was on a peace mission to Beijing, China, trying to negotiate an end to the Vietnam War, something was about to happen that will leave Ghanaians in total distress. Lieutenant Kotoka deployed troops to Accra to seize control of vital infrastructure, including the state radio station, and announced the overthrow of Nkrumah to Ghanaians. Nkrumah never returned to Ghana because he was threatened with arrest and death upon arrival. He could have started a civil war, but he thought, I don't want to put innocent Ghanaians in danger and bloodshed. So he accepted asylum in Guinea, where his close friend, President Ahmed, named him co-president. Nkrumah left behind a massive network of state-owned enterprises designed to transform Ghana from an exporter of raw materials into an industrialized, self-sufficient powerhouse. Most of these were managed under the Ghana Industrial Holding Corporations. These are some of the companies Nkrumah left behind. Volta River Authority, built to power Ghana's new industries and export electricity to neighboring countries. Tema Oil Refinery, built to refine crude oil locally. Electricity Company of Ghana, established to distribute power nationwide. The Tema Steel Works, built to process scrap metals and manufacture steel for construction. GIHOC Distilleries, produce locally alcohol beverages and spirits. The Asuchari and Commander Sugar Factory, built to process sugarcane locally so Ghanaians would stop importing sugar. The Kumasi Juice Factory manufactures sacks for bagging and exporting cocoa beans. The Kede Match Factory produce safety matches for the domestic and West African market. The Bonsa Tie Factory and Bonsa Rubber Estate manufactured vehicle ties from locally tapped rubber. The State Fishing Corporation managed a large fleet of deep-sea trawlers to provide affordable fish nationwide, supported by massive cold storage facilities in Tema. The State Meat Processing Factory, Boligatanga, produced canned meat, popularly known as Volta corned beef. The Walugo Tomato Factory, built to process northern tomatoes into paste. The Wenchi Tomato Factory, another processing plant built to prevent post-harvest losses. The Kumasu Shoe Factory, manufactured high-quality boots and shoes, specifically supplying the military and schools. The Takoradi Paper Milk and Glass Factory produced local paper products and glassware. Ghana Airways, the national airline which flew routes across Africa, Europe and the Middle East. Black Star Line, a state-owned cargo shipping line that allowed Ghana to control its own maritime trade, and many more. But why was Nkrumah overthrown? Upon all of these developments, the story is complex. The NLC justified their actions by accusing Nkrumah's administrations of severe failures, including economic distress, worsening inflation, essential food shortages, and rising national debt due to large-scale industrial projects, authoritarian rule, the introduction of the 1958 Preventive Detention Act, which allowed prisoners without trial, and turning Ghana into a one-party state in 1964. The NLC ruled the country and things got worse. They banned Nkrumah's CPP and immediately freed prisoners. They shifted Ghana's economy to align with Western countries, implemented harsh rules from the IMF, and devalued the cedi by 30%. Many state-owned enterprises established by Nkrumah were either sold or abandoned, which led to job losses and widespread economic hardship. But then they realized they couldn't handle the country anymore. That's where they handed power to President Bushia in 1969. But then things got even worse. Lack of jobs, famine, and every president who came to power was overthrown by the military.
Fellow countrymen, my heart is heavy as I witness the damage which this clique of neo-colonialist conspirators are doing to our country. At the bidding of their overseas neo-colonialist masters, they are dismantling the work of 50 years. They are telling you that Ghana is bankrupt. They are telling you that our country is in debt to the extent of some 240 million pounds. What fools they are. How ignorant for them to think that you believe these stupid lies. Open your eyes and look around you. See for yourselves. See the splendid new Tama Harbour. See the mighty water dam. See the fine roads which we have built under the leadership of the Convention People's Party and its government. See the schools, the colleges and the universities. See the clinics, hospitals, health centers, and the facilities which we have created. See the factories which are already springing up. These are no debts. These are not debts. They are investments in our future as an independent nation. These are the physical guarantees of the bright new future which I have promised you and I have been working for.
Nkrumah watched the country fall apart and later died in Romania of prostate cancer in 1972. But then something was about to take over the whole country. 1975 to 1983, during this time, Ghana suffered from hyperinflation, reaching over 116% in 1978. Severe food shortages and a near-total collapse of infrastructure. Basic commodities like sugar, milk, and soap became luxury items that required waiting in long lines, popularly called essential commodities lines. A devastating drought and widespread bushfires in 1983, known as 83 Come, pushed the country into an extreme famine. This led 1 million Ghanaians to flee to Nigeria for greener pastures. When the state-owned factories shut down or downsized, thousands of stable, formal manufacturing jobs vanished. To make matters worse, When Jerry John Rawlings' government adopted the IMF Structured Adjustment Program in 1983 to save the economy, it came with harsh structural changes. The civil service and remaining state companies had to lay off workers to cut spending between 1980 and 1991. Over 145,000 formal sector workers lost their jobs through government firing workers. Right in the middle of this domestic economic crisis, Nigeria issued an expulsion order in 1983, forcing over 1 million Ghanaians living and working there to pack up and return home within weeks. This suddenly flooded an already broken Ghanaian economy, with over 1 million jobless citizens, creating immense social and economic strain. Because formal factory jobs disappeared, Ghanaians need to adapt to survive. This period marked the massive explosions of Ghana's informal economy. People turned to petty trading, small-scale farming, and artisanal work, survival tactics to make a living. But then, something was about to happen that will keep Ghana in a loop for generations. When a new government comes to power, it often abandons the uncompleted or running projects of the previous leader to focus on its own initiatives. Because Nkrumah was overthrown and demonized by the coup makers, succeeding governments initially viewed his state enterprises as symbol of his failed socialist agenda rather than national assets. This made Ghana go from heavy manufacturing hub back to an import-dependent and raw material export economy. But here is the problem. Ghana exports cocoa beans. Switzerland and the Netherlands turn them into chocolate and sell it back to us for 10 times the price. We export gold. Other countries make jewelry and electronics. We export timber. Others make furniture. We sell low. We buy high. That's not path to wealth. Imagine 1 ton of raw cocoa sells for $4,000. Processed chocolate from that same cocoa sells for $40,000 and above. We keep the 4,000, they keep the rest. Every country that escaped poverty, China, South Korea, the US, Malaysia, they all industrialized. They all started processing their own raw materials. Ghana did the opposite after 1966. We went backward. Even with raw exports, Ghana still made money, billions of dollars from gold, oil, and cocoa. So where did it go? It was stolen and mismanaged. When leaders steal, roads are not built, schools are not built, hospitals lack medicine, the average Ghanaian suffers, and then that same average Ghanaian is told to be grateful for democracy and stability. But stability without development is just organized poverty. Now, here is where things get uncomfortable. Families thought the only way to escape poverty is by giving birth to many. More children means more hands to work. More children means someone will take care of you when you are old. That belief is not evil, but it's a trap. But then when a family cannot support its children, those children are left to raise themselves. They grow up hungry, neglected and angry. And here is where things get crazy. The education creates theories, not problem solvers. The certificate is praised. The skillful man is denied. The theorists graduate, flooding already broken system with no jobs. And this is where something devastating happens. They enter adulthood in survival mode, willing to do whatever it takes to eat. And this is where illegal mining comes in and our water bodies get destroyed.
When our mom and dad give birth to us, we don't fight them and they leave us.
Survival mode is dangerous. When a young man cannot find work, cannot feed himself, and has no hope, stealing starts to look reasonable. When robbery becomes common, something even worse happens. The people who are trying to build businesses, create jobs, and solve problems, they become targets. They lose their goods, their savings, sometimes their lives, and many of them give up. The cycle continues. Fewer problem solvers, more thieves, less development, water bodies get destroyed, more poverty. And then what happens? Those survival children grew up. Some become rich and some become powerful. Some become members of parliament, but they carry the same mindset. When parliament is filled with people who think like survivors instead of builders, corruption becomes normal. Stealing from the state is seen as looking after your people.
Are you aware that as far back as 2020, this government gave Cecilia Dapa $43 million? $43 million, Sewa. That's also over 300 million. She said she used it to clear 5 heaps of rubbish. 43 million. Are you surprised that her housemaid was able to steal over $1 million from her house when she couldn't find, and she didn't even realize? 43 million of our taxpayers' money has been spent in the name of cleaning Accra. Accra is dirtier than they came to meet it.
Okay.
Look, Ghana has become a crime scene.
And the cycle continues for another generation. To break this cycle, start with me and you. If you have made it to this far, great. Share this video to help someone. Like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos coming. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.